Okay, let's look at reading 3, motivational factors and the hospitality industry. Let's see what we've got. I see lots of names over here, and yes, they've asked one of those questions where you match the statement with the names, a yes, no, not given, and a summary without a box. So, of course, we're going to go straight for this one and do the other ones later. What can we see over here? Names over there, maybe American, but that can obviously be paraphrased to USA. I don't see anything else to scan for. So immediately the first thing that I'm going to do is scan for Tews, Michelle and Stafford. It's the last question, so it might be at the end. It's more likely to be at the end, but scan for wherever you want. I would start actually scanning at the end because it's the last questions, and straight away we find it over there. So that means this paragraph is about dairy, so this paragraph is the summary. Okay, I'm just going to split the screen. Actually, I took a look. These are all nouns, so the grammar doesn't really help us here. An American chain of staff in an American chain of something. Staff from a chain of themed restaurants in the United States. So you can match up everything. Staff is there, chain is there. Themed restaurants is not there. In the United States is in an American chain. So there's your answer there, themed restaurants, but we're only allowed one word, so of course you're going to choose restaurants. Quite straightforward. Right, they discovered that, it was found that, activities designed for staff to have fun activities, improved there, so I want something positive, improved there, and that management involvement, so there will be an and over there. Where is that and? That and is exactly over there. Improved, favorable, improved, both positive words. What did it improve? It improved the performance. I'm going very quickly because this is actually very easy. Improved their performance. And management involvement, manager support for fun, led to, had a favorable impact in, lower. Where is lower? Reducing. What did it lower? What did it reduce? Turnover. Again, very straightforward. They also found that, I can't find the also just yet, activities needed to fit with both. Maybe I can find both. Yes, I can. Both is right over there. So this is all matching up very easily, very quickly. The company something and the something of the staff. Look at this structure. It's a noun phrase and a noun phrase. Where is that and? It's right over there. So can you find the company's organization? The organization is the company. So that should be quite clear that it's organizational goals is the company's goals. And the something of the staff. Where's the staff? Employees. Must be one of these. Employee characteristics. The characteristics of the employees. The characteristics of the staff. Very straightforward, and then, I mean, everything matches up here. A balance was required. Manners, achieve a delicate balance. Degree of freedom. Freedom to enjoy themselves. Maintaining work standards. Maintaining high levels of performance. So this matches up very easily, and I'm surprised at this. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 marks in passage 3. This is actually like passage 1 level of difficulty. They've just given you some free marks here because the rest of the paper is like really difficult. But anyway, great. So we get 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So let's move on to the real part of this passage. And it's this one and the yes, no, not given. Now, which one do you start with? Up to you. I would you've got to go and find all of these, so I would just start with this one. Okay, so that you can do in a couple of minutes. Now you must just get going. The best thing to do is find all of these, underline them, highlight them. So first is Fefa. You can come back and read them in more detail later. Let's just find out where everything is. The next one was Lucas, but be careful, of course, they often mention them twice. Don't find all the names, only find the names that are in this box. There are some names that aren't in the box that are in the text. You can ignore those. Marudas et al. Et al means and other people. More Lucas. Marudas et al. and Sorensen, Ens and Sigel. There we go. Just check, is Michelle et al. There? No. So we can just ignore that one. Can ignore that one. Can ignore that one. These ones that we're ignoring now, I'll keep it in mind. So they've skipped this whole paragraph for this question. So it probably means that they will ask a yes, no, not given from that paragraph. So bear that in mind for later. I forgot what we're looking for. We're looking for Ens and Sigol or any of these others. But there's Marudas et al. Again. Schneider and Brown, no. Ens and Sigol, yes. And, there's Marudas et al. Again. And again. Ens and Sigol, Marudas et al. And Deary. Deary's over there. We can ignore this paragraph. Alright, so that's all of them there. So if we just look at it in this view, we can see kind of where they're taking everything from. So for this question type now, you got it in your mind, you've got to kind of just block these out. You're not looking at that, and we're not looking at that. It is, I don't know, maybe somehow possible that they are from there, but it's really unlikely. Also, this paragraph over here, there's nothing there. It's for IELTS, you've got to think in terms of paragraphs and where they're taking everything from. All right, so we've narrowed it down to just these paragraphs over here. We might be able to narrow it down further. So then you're going to go and now it's time for you to really concentrate and turn your brain on. Up until now it's been okay. We need to look at keywords and we need to highlight keywords and we really need to get those keywords into our heads. Remember, they're going to use synonyms and they're going to paraphrase and they're going to be unkind. So hotel managers need to know what would encourage good staff to remain. Maybe managers, what would encourage good staff to remain is probably what I would highlight. Remember, end focus, probably over there. The actions of managers. You see, now I'm worried about this word managers because I'm starting to suspect that managers is everywhere. I can sort of see managers over there. I can see managers there. There's management there. So I don't think I'm going to be looking for managers because I think managers is everywhere. So probably not. Actions of managers may make staff feel they shouldn't move to a different employer. Maybe that. Little is done. Little is quite important. Not a lot. It's kind of negative. In the hospitality industry to help workers improve their skills. You see how end focus becomes so important, the end focus that I talked about before. Staff are less likely, I like that, to change jobs if cooperation is encouraged. Dissatisfaction with pay is not the only reason why they change jobs. Change jobs is there, remain there, move to a different employer. It's kind of everywhere. Dissatisfaction with pay. So this is about salary and money, some kind of synonym for that. All right, those are my keywords. Maybe yours are slightly different. It's not too serious, but what you're going to do now is we're probably going to go and look at Fefa and see if anything that he said matches up with any one of these. Remember, you may use any letter more than once. There are 6 over here. There are 5 over there. So 1 or 2 of these we won't use. Bear that in mind. That's why don't be afraid to skip on to the next one. Let's see what Fefa says. But let's quickly review this. Good staff to remain. What would encourage good staff to remain? Managers shouldn't move to a different employer. These two seem very similar. Improve their skills. That one I kind of like. These two I don't like because it's not really specific. They're not giving specific words. I like improve their skills. Cooperation maybe. And something about pay. Dissatisfaction about pay and salaries. These 3 are a bit clearer. These 2 are a bit vague. So we need to see now what Fefa says. Another thing that you should just check is this over here. This is a bit vague. A statement, all you need to is to match the statement with the researcher. It's not clear if You must only do what the researcher said or what the researcher found. The statement could come from the researcher, or it could come from the writer of this passage. So this actually doesn't really help us. It's quite general and quite vague. And that's why this passage is quite difficult, is a lot of this stuff is very general and vague. Anyway, what does Pfeffer say? In order to succeed, organizations must make investment in this to allow them to acquire employees who possess better skills and capabilities than their competitors. So I remember skills over there. Let's go to that one about the skill. And then this will be to their competitive advantage. So we're only looking at here for Pfeffer, because this is Lucas. Little is done in the industry to help workers improve their skills. They didn't say anything about little is done here, not a lot. I would say the main focus of this Pfeffer thing is this. They're introducing this idea of human resource management, but even though they mention skills, I don't see little is done. So I don't see anything that jumps out at me there from these. And that's why you must not be afraid to skip. Find the easy ones first, because then you can delete some. Okay, what does Lucas say? Well, now I see that Lucas says all of this. So it's quite a lot. Maybe I'll come back to Lucas later. I want to find one of these smaller ones. Marudas is also a problem, because there is over there and there is over there. So maybe I'll come to that later. Let's see if we can find one of these. And this one I quite like because it's just one sentence. I don't see them anywhere else. And this starts over here with Michelle et al. So it's just this one. So that's quite a nice one to look at. We're trying to find the easy ones. When managers provide recognition to employees, motivate employees to work together, and remove obstacles, employees feel more obligated to stay with the company. Obligated is feel they must or they should. So when managers do three things: provide recognition, remove obstacles, and motivate employees, 1, 2, 3, then employees feel more obligated to stay with the company. I remember saw something about stay with the company. Here's encourage good staff to remain, but this says managers need to know what. This one is better. Managers may make their staff feel that they shouldn't move to a different employer. This is quite important. Should is obligation, like you feel that you must do it. Feel is there. Feel more obligated. And then this thing talks about the actions of managers, and they gave 3 actions, the 3 things in that list. So I like this one because this whole thing is there, actions of managers is there, and I'm actually going to go with that one for D. Which other one should be quite easy to find? This is more Marudas. Maybe these guys over here. Well, you see, it's not clear. This whole paragraph is about them. But let's see if we can see anything. It is essential to develop HER to enable them to inspire and retain competent employees. This requires an understanding of what motivates at different levels of management, different stages of their careers. It is beneficial for hotel managers to understand what practices are most favorable to increase satisfaction and retention. I remember something like that. It's beneficial for hotel managers to understand, and then satisfaction and retention. And I remember that over there. Hotel managers need to know. It is beneficial for hotel managers to understand, and good staff to remain. Remain is retention. It's a very difficult word. Retain, to keep your staff. Your staff remain in the company. So I'm okay with that one over here. Please notice it's tricky because that's actually what Enns and Seagull said. But this statement is connected to that statement, and this says we're just matching it with the researcher. It's not only what they said. It's one of the reasons why this is more difficult. So that probably gave it to me. hotel managers to understand, and hotel managers need to know. Starting to get difficult, this thing. So who was that? That was E. Okay, let's go and look at dairy quickly. Several actions to retain good staff, balance work and family life. Those include allowing breaks. So there's a list sentence here, allowing breaks, staff involving families, and health and well-being. I don't see anything about that. Several actions. This whole paragraph is just several actions, and then 1, 2, 3 are actions. So I don't see it. Right, so now we're going to have to go back and try and find a couple of these more difficult ones. Lucas and Marudas. Let's see what Lucas said. We're looking over here. Despite this recognition of the importance of employee development, the hospitality industry has historically been dominated by underdeveloped HR practices. He also points out that this does not appear to be designed to foster constructive relations with employees or represent a managerial approach that enables full potential of people, even though employees may be broadly satisfied. What? I don't really understand. Does not appear to be designed, probably quite important. There's a negative there. Little is done is negative. Less likely is actually positive. Not the only reason why they change jobs. Little is done to help workers improve their skills. Is that it? This is a very difficult one, so I'm going to skip it again. Let's see what Maruda says. Or maybe as a result, has been a recurring problem. Among the reasons are low compensation. I remember something about pay. Compensation is pay. Inadequate benefits, poor working conditions, compromised morale and attitudes. So this is another list, and the lists are often important. Low pay, bad benefits, bad working conditions, bad attitudes, morale and attitudes. Low compensation was dissatisfaction with pay. It's not the only reason why they change jobs. So yeah, there are other reasons. There were 4 reasons in that list. Now really at this stage you're probably running out of time, so you can't be thinking all that much. You just don't have time, so I'm just going to go with that one. I would have gone with that one because that makes sense. Low compensation, dissatisfaction with pay, and the high employee turnover is the change jobs. Workers change jobs. Alright, so pretty difficult, but I didn't see dissatisfaction with pay anywhere else, so I'm probably going to put C over here. We can just check. Marudas also said something over here. High quality service, sophisticated, is as a critical source of competitive advantage. I don't see anything really over there. Just fulfilling those needs does not result in satisfaction, only in the reduction of dissatisfaction. I saw satisfaction somewhere. So dissatisfaction is there and dissatisfaction is there. But this is dissatisfaction with pay. This is job dissatisfaction. So I think they've tried to trick you there, but it's not such a good trick because it's the same guy anyway. So I'm going to go with dissatisfaction with pay. Not the only reason is Marudas. Not because of this, but actually because of this. Low compensation is dissatisfaction with pay. And it's not the only reason because there are other reasons. That is incredibly difficult to figure out in such a short space of time. Then we found the one with skills. Little is done to help workers improve their skills. Now I think most of you will choose Pfeffer for that because skills is over there and that's in the Pfeffer sentence. But we actually want to say little is done. And there it is over there. It's underdeveloped. Employee development is improve their skills. So we're actually looking for little is done to improve their skills, and it's over there. You could maybe think does not appear to do all of these things, but it's probably the sentence over here where little is done to improve these skills. So it's actually Lucas, it's not Pfeffer. So that's B. Less likely to change jobs if cooperation is encouraged. I can't find it, so I'm going to skip it and move on to these true, false, not givens, or yes, no, not givens. Right, we have to work a bit quickly. Let's find some keywords. High staff turnover is poor morale. I remember I saw morale somewhere. Dislike their workplace, a tendency to dislike their workplace. Improvement in working conditions and job security makes them satisfied with their jobs. Choose when they take breaks during the working day. Now the big question is, where do we scan for these? We don't know where they took these because there's no names, there's no numbers, there's no dates. So you probably want to start with the paragraphs that they haven't used yet. So I'm just going to black these ones out that we've used where there has been an answer. This is not 100% safe strategy, but we're really running out of time now, so you've got to just do what you can. So now we've used these paragraphs. I'm not saying black them out. Maybe we will still find one or two answers in there from yes, no, not given. I'm just saying it's a bit more likely that you'll find these yes, no, not givens in the paragraphs that they haven't used. So what are we looking for? We're looking for poor morale, dislike their workplace, working conditions and job security, and breaks. Poor morale, dislike the workplace, working conditions and job security, and breaks. And then you really just got to scan really fast. I don't see anything. I see working conditions over there, but I actually want this whole thing, working conditions and job security. It's that structure, A and B again. Yes, if you want, look, scan through these. I'm not saying don't do it. I'm just saying we're in emergency now. We don't have much time, so we really got to try and do the most likely paragraphs first. What we're actually trying to find out is, have they taken this from everywhere, or have they taken it from one or two paragraphs? So let's scan over here. View their work environment negatively. Dislike their workplace. Yeah, I like that. And then keep on scanning. The next one that I see is all the way down over here. And that's bad news. It means they've taken these yes, no, not givens from everywhere. Working conditions and job security is there. And then breaks. Can you scan for breaks? Breaks is all the way down over there. So it means these yes, no, not givens have come from everywhere. So they've taken 3 of them from the paragraphs that we didn't use. Quite interestingly, they haven't used these paragraphs at all, and they haven't used this paragraph at all, and they haven't used this paragraph at all. Poor morale, I didn't see it. It's obviously somewhere in here, probably in one of these black paragraphs. So let's try and do the ones that we can do. Research has shown that staff have a tendency to dislike their workplace. While it seems likely that employees' reactions to their job characteristics could be affected by predisposition to dislike their workplace, no evidence exists to support this hypothesis. So there's the research. Research has not shown. No evidence exists. So it's not likely. So that one will be no. This, please notice again the contrast marker over there. But this contrast marker, that's not the important information. There should be like a however over there. That's the important information in the sentence. You could write this sentence the same by just deleting while from there and putting however in over there, or but over there. Right. If you found these, then you can go to them. I mean, I know how difficult it was to find these. So, these include, what are these? Motivation factors. What are we looking for? An improvement in these makes staff satisfied with their jobs. When these factors are unfavorable, job satisfaction may result. But then you have to read on. There's a contrast marker. Significantly, however, Just fulfilling these needs does not result in satisfaction, but only in reduction of dissatisfaction. So there, after the contrast marker, after the however, the though, is the important information. Just fulfilling these needs does not result in satisfaction. And here it says, improving these needs, fulfilling these needs does make staff feel satisfied. So the answer is no. Please again notice both times over here, learn how to use these contrast markers. They point you to the important information. That's the important information in this sentence. That's the important information in this sentence. Finally, allowing adequate breaks during the day. Should be allowed to choose when they take breaks. There's nothing there about choose when they take breaks during the day, so that's quite clear that that's not given. Right, then you need to find morale. So it's somewhere over here, and there's only one thing to do, and it's just scan like crazy, and it's actually over there. Among the many reasons for what? Reasons for high employee turnover, low compensation, bad benefits, bad working conditions, and bad morale. So there's 4 reasons. List sentence. One of the 4 for high staff turnover is bad morale. So the answer is definitely yes. We could have guessed that because this was no, not given. Alright, so that was crazy difficult. They gave you 5 easy ones here because the rest of this was so difficult. Once again, if you found the target sentence, you were halfway there. Wait, there's just one more over here. And to tell you the truth, I couldn't find this one. So I wouldn't have gotten full marks for this reading. And the reason I couldn't find it is because we're looking for cooperation. And it was actually over here. There is cooperation. So they chose 2 from this sentence, and that's why I couldn't find it, because I was ignoring this sentence. I haven't seen them do that much. If you remember, that one was from that sentence, and actually that one is from that sentence too. Now, I've seen them choose the same target sentence with 2 different question types, but this was very unusual in that they chose the same target sentence in the same question type. Never seen that before. That's why I couldn't find it, because I was ignoring this. I thought I'd used it. Alright, yeah, I have to stop there. What a long video. So difficult. They gave you 5 easy ones, but then you ran into lots of problems. The main thing that I can tell you to learn from this one is management of your paragraphs, and try and see where they're taking what from, and just remember the general principle that they try and take from everywhere. So if they use some paragraphs for this, it's less likely that they'll use those same paragraphs from this. Actually, only this one came from the same paragraph. These 3 came from different paragraphs. Okay, let me stop there. What a long and difficult reading passage 3.